podcast, The Esperience. My name is Marijn.
And my name is Stijn. Today we'll be having our second guest, a former secretary. So, can you tell us who you are, what board you were part of, something about yourself?
Yes, hello. I'm Julia and I was the secretary and vice chair of Board 5. I've lived in Groningen for almost 6 years now and I'm studying ELC, of course, with my major language German and profile politics and linguistics.
Nice. German. You don't hear that often. I'm German as well, so that's nice.
No.
Yeah, so welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're really glad you could join us, the secretary from Board 5. So in yesterday's episode, we had Laura, the previous chairman, and we said that not many people might know her because she was in Spain, of course. And I honestly wasn't really sure if people would know who you are, but what are you currently doing?
Well, I'm finishing my bachelor currently. I'm writing my thesis for the linguistics profile in German, and I've actually just started, so it's still in progress, but I hope to finish my bachelor this year and then start my master's next year.
Sounds exciting, and of course we as the board know you as a part of the advisory council and the Almanaxi as well. We think not many people might know much about what the AC, so the advisory council, is and does, and as the board that's obviously quite important. So can you tell us a little about what they do?
Yes, the advisory council consists of former board members who give advice to the current boards. They can ask things to us and we will try to give them the best advice possible. And sometimes we just give new ideas to the boards that we think would be good to implement in the association.
Yeah, it has helped us a lot.
Yeah,
I think it
so
really
far
It's good to hear.
a lot.
Yeah, so thank you, and also to the others, of course. Yeah, but before, of course, you were part of the AC Advisory Council. You were the secretary, and you applied for that. So what made you apply for the board?
Before I applied for the board, I have been in the charity and the actie, and I really liked the work of a committee, and I tried to think, well, what can I do next year? And then I thought, maybe I can apply for the board. And also some friends of mine were in the boards and they convinced me to apply. So I did.
And you became secretary, obviously. Did you apply for the position of secretary or did you actually want something else?
Yes, I did apply for 3 positions in the board, secretary, chair and PR. And I am happy I was the secretary of my board. I think that was the position in the board that suited me best. Yeah, so I'm happy I applied for secretary as well.
Nice. And why is that something that you thought suits you?
Yeah, I think for being a secretary, you have to be organized, and that's something I am, and I was already before being a secretary. And I was looking for a new challenge for myself, so that's why I applied for the board in the first place and for secretary.
And you also had 2 other positions which you applied for. Why did you apply for those 2?
Yeah, well, I applied for the PR position because I like to be creative in writing and making pictures and stuff like that. And that's something that can be found in the position of PR as well as in the position of secretary, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I applied for chair because I was the chair of the actie and I thought, well, I can grow in this role as a chair and maybe grow a little more when I would be the chair of the board. Yeah, but I'm happy that Midas was our chair and I was the secretary. So
yeah, right. Yeah, I applied for chair as well as my second position, but I'm really glad Mark is chair and I'm just treasurer.
Same.
That's much more my cup of tea.
I think for me it was my third place, but I'm happy with the way things are.
Yeah.
And, well, it's quite obvious. I mean, most people that are in committees at least know that the secretary makes notes during meetings. But what are some of the other things that come with being a secretary?
Yeah, next to writing the minutes, you have to keep track of the mail. It's the board mail and the secretary mail. And next to that, you write the monthly newsletters. And you can really be creative with writing them. And also be creative with writing pieces for almanacs of other associations, which I really liked. Because you can really write about what you experience as a board or as a person, and yeah, that's really nice, I think.
Yeah. For us, Dagmar is our secretary, and she also told me, and I think in her promotional piece for this position, that writing almanacs is one of the most fun things. And I really agree. I often help her with it, and it's so much fun to do it together and write a piece for another association that you know. So yeah, I think that's really nice about the position.
Yeah, and I heard from some people that have been secretary or are secretary, that it can be difficult, that when you're making notes during meetings, it can be difficult to maybe insert yourself into the conversation because you are, busy noting everything down. Is that a problem that you faced, or is it, or if so, how did you deal with that?
Yeah, I thought about this, and I don't think it was difficult. I think we all got to say what we wanted to say during our meetings. And if not, we asked if everyone agreed with what we discussed. And of course, I think with like real life meetings, it's easier as a secretary because you can see each other, and you can see if someone wants to say something. And with online meetings, it's more difficult, I think, because you have to keep track of the minutes. You have to look at the faces of others. But if you just look at what everyone looks like and like, is there something right or wrong, then you can see and you can say what you want.
Yeah, for us it's a bit more difficult, obviously, since everything is online. But I think Dagmar is trying her best to say everything she wants, and she often brings very good ideas to the table, so that's nice. I think as a secretary it shouldn't be a problem to do so.
No.
But are there any character traits that you think would help overcome this, or that you would think that are good for a secretary overall?
Yeah, I think it's good if you are a bit organized, because you have to keep track of everything that's happening in the board, actually, and also with the emails. And next to it, I think it's a good thing if you are creative, because you have to write quite a lot. Sometimes there are professional emails, but also like the newsletters and the almanac pieces. So I think a mix of creativeness and being organized is a really good mix of character traits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are some really good ones. And you said that you were a secretary in committees before, or in one committee, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
And then in the board. And you also mentioned, for example, writing things for the almanac of other associations. But was this or any other thing something that you might not have expected that were, like, so to say, part of the job?
Well, I don't think there were unexpected things for me as a secretary. But, within our board, what was unexpected was that our Commissioner of Internal Affairs quit, actually. It was near the end of the year, so, it wasn't a real big problem. But, of course, it was unexpected, and it was sad that she had to leave because of personal circumstances. But I think the 5 of us dealt with it in a good way, and we solved everything that had to be solved. So, that's...
Yeah. Well, you're still like a team at the end of the day.
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the goal of this podcast is for people to apply for a board, and I think that you obviously might like the position of secretary best, and hope everyone will apply for that. And we obviously aren't secretaries, so maybe a good question for you is, why should people apply to become the next secretary?
Well, of course, secretary is the best position in a board. Yes, I think what's really nice about being secretary, you can really plan when you are doing your tasks. If you have to write a newsletter on Monday, or you have to send it on Monday, you can think, I'm going to start writing this on Thursday or on Sunday. You can really plan things yourself. And of course, with the meetings, you have to write the minutes at the time. But next to that, you have a lot of freedom, I think, within the position of secretary. So that's really nice if you like that.
Yeah.
And you can be creative.
That sounds really nice, actually. And I think that there comes much more to the table than just writing minutes.
Yes, of course, that's just a small part, only in the meetings and at the GMA, of course.
Yeah.
But you do a lot of other things next to writing minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really nice. Because I think that many people, including myself, well, not anymore, but like think of as a secretary as someone, you know, who makes minutes or also responds to emails, of course. But also next to secretary, you were vice chair, which you said. So what was that like? What does that entail?
Yeah, for me it was like giving advice to meet us. We discussed things that we were maybe going to discuss at our meetings. Like, do we have to discuss this right now, or can we do it another time? Do we have to discuss it with all of us, or can we just do it one-on-one? Yeah, and if Midas was not present, I would make the agenda and lead the meetings, of course. And therefore we had a vice secretary as well. But yeah, it was just giving advice, I think, and just talking chair to vice chair a lot about what we were going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm vice chair as well this year. And, well, we had Laura on the previous episode, and she was a chair, so like the other side of the coin, so to speak. And she was also like, oh, you can really... the duo, like the chair and vice chairman, can really have their own spin on things, like on how they're gonna do that. And do you think that the way you and Midas did it was different from previous boards?
I don't think so. I think like all chairs and vice chairs discuss a lot together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we did as well. So I think that's like maybe the most important thing of being a vice chair as well. Just not like you can be the chair if the other one is not present, but just giving advice and talking a lot about things that have to be done. I think that's most important of being vice chair.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I also am like, it's actually a good thing if you don't have to do it, because that means the other person is, for whatever reason, not present, which could be a dentist appointment, but it could be something, well, way worse. Yeah, so of course I'm vice chair and I'm here to do it when I have to, but of course I don't hope that I have to, because that would mean something is going on, which I don't hope, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I have a quick question, which isn't in script, so I hope Marijn is fine with that.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, well, before you applied for the board, was there anything you would have wanted to know about either the position of secretary, vice chair, or being in the board in general, that you're like, why didn't they tell me, or I should have known this, or...
No, I don't think so. I think it's really nice that you don't know everything before you apply for the board or before you become a board member, because there are a lot of things you learn during the year, I think, and also a lot of things that might be better if you don't know about it before, because it might be scary. But yeah, I really don't regret applying, and everything I learned during my board year I can carry with me and use for other experiences in life.
Yeah, I think that, well, of course, we did also not know like the 100% of what went on, but what I found nice about that was that you can still grow into your role and give it your own spin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's really nice that they didn't tell us everything. There's only one thing I would have wanted to know, and that was that the pandemic would take the whole year.
Oh, yeah.
When I applied, I thought it would be 2 months, and yet still, here we are.
Yeah. Still don't regret it, though.
No, that's true.
But yeah.
Well, we talked about this in the last episode as well, but besides the work you do as a board member, there's also a very social aspect of being a board member. But it's not only with our members, but also with other associations. For instance, at Consties, you meet a lot of people from other associations, board members from other associations. What can you tell us about that? Like, how was that contact? What did you get from that? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, of course. I really enjoyed the Consties. And of course, we have the Twipuria hitchhike contest every year. So we had a lot of contact with the boards of Twist and Epu. And they were really nice. And I think we really connected with the three of us. And next to it, we had contact with boards as ASCII and Komotsi as well. And we planned some evenings to just have a drink and chill together. So that's really nice. And within our own board, we try to organize just chill evenings during the year as well. where we would just eat together, watch a film, a movie, or play board games and celebrate Sinterklaas as well. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far we had to miss out on the consties and everything because,
Yeah.
of course, the one thing that must not be named. Yeah, but, well, we do stay in contact with other boards as well,
Yeah.
sometimes online. Back when it was allowed, we actually went for drinks.
Mhm.
Uh,
We tried at least, and it has been so much fun to
It was.
even know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and this year I'm part of the Hitchhike Sea, so that means, like you said, collaborating with Twist and Apu. So you get to know them as well, which I think was really nice. So at least that's something, especially in these times. But something I'm also really interested in overall is what is something that you thought you really learned from your year as being a board member?
Yeah, I think you learn to communicate with a lot of different people and work together with a lot of different people as well. You can't choose who you are in a board with, so you have to work together with the ones you are with in the board. And it can be a lot of different personalities. And it was within our board, I think. So
we as well.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you and I were quite different personalities, but
Very different.
but it still works.
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's really nice if you have different personalities within the board, because then you have like the more easygoing side and maybe the more outgoing. And so yeah, I think that's the best mix to have in your boards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think also the social aspect, like you said, like evenings to just chill or have dinner or watch a film, those help as well to just, someone once said to me, or, well, not maybe specifically to me, but they said, like, in order to be able to know someone and also be able to be critical of someone and also appreciate their work, you have to know them personally as well. And I thought that was something that was said really well. And I think it really applies to doing a board year as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to get to know each other if you are in a board together. So
Yeah, and we have gotten to know each other quite well. And
Yes,
it has
yeah.
been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And does being in part of the board give you any good opportunities after you've been in the board, or like has it opened any doors, or has it given you something that really came in handy later on?
well, of course, you get to know the association a lot better, which I think is really nice. And that's why I'm also in the advisory council right now. So you can give advice like, what have I learned during my year, and can I give on my knowledge to other board members?
To us.
Yeah. And you get to know more about structure of the university as well, which is, well, kind of important, I think.
It's also the
Um,
easiest structure sometimes.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so yeah, you just learn a lot. And well, if you are going to apply for a job later in your life and people can see, hey, you did something besides just studying, I think that's really nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it really shows your committed is not the right word, but like present, that you want to do
Yeah.
something. I think that is nice to add, of course, always to like a CV.
Mhm.
So what would you say is the best experience that you've had during your board year?
Well, I think for me, it was really nice that we got to organize the first lustrum of our association.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just 1 week of fun activities. We had some nice dinner, some
Yeah.
academic activities.
I hear
some
so
fun
much.
afternoons. Yeah.
So much great stories about that list. And
Yeah.
I'm really sad we weren't there.
We were still
Well,
too young.
Yeah.
the
so
next
yeah.
lustrum.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
That's in 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll be there. Yes, I will.
Yeah, it was just really nice, and yeah, I think the whole board year was amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that was the most special thing for our year. Yeah.
Definitely. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're almost at the end, but well, is there anything as some sort of maybe closing remarks that you would like to give as an advice for the next secretary or any other board members? Is there anything you would like to say to them?
Well, first of all, apply. You won't
Good
regret
one.
it. And if you are in the board, just try to get to know each other and have fun. Plan social evenings, go to activities, and get to know other board members as well. And enjoy, because before you know, it's already like April and you have to look for new board members. So,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That's what we're currently
that's
doing.
what we're currently
Yeah, and we were talking like, because we of course were announced as the candidate board in May in 2020, and right now it's March 2021. It's been 10 months, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's insane.
it goes by so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
Yeah, like enjoy. That's some good advice, I would say. Yeah.
And like you said, get to know your fellow board members. I think 2 weeks we have another board member of yours, Imke, on the podcast. Is there maybe something fun you would like to share about her? Maybe as a, like, so she can listen to it and maybe respond to that, or
Spill the tea.
spill the tea. Exactly.
Well, I remember a thing about our consti. Well, of course, there was a lot of wine and presents. One board, I don't know what board anymore, but they gave us a confetti popper shaped like a bottle. And
Oh god, I see where this is
we popped
going.
the confetti, and then Imke was like, "Hey, this is a bottle," and she threw it through the room, and everyone's looking like, "Oh my god, what is she doing?" Like shocked. But yeah, we were just laughing. We were drunk.
Very drunk.
And our
I can
board members
imagine.
were like, "Oh, you can't do that." They were kind of mad. So maybe you can ask her about it if she remembers.
We will try to get some more information.
This sounds like a good story. It really does.
Yeah, we are excited to
Yeah, I
get
really
her.
hope you can enjoy some consis as well. Maybe at the beginning of next year.
Fingers
Well,
crossed.
Would be really
I
nice.
really hope so.
I will probably be abroad, so not for me,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Marijn is here in September.
Yeah, I'm going to Germany, so they start in October, not in September. So that's positive for me.
Yay.
I actually really like that. So hopefully when they allow things like socials in September,
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah. Of course, I'm part of the board, so I have to be there. But like, I want to be there.
Yeah, that's something I'm really sad about, that we probably won't have any cons this year. Well, at least not for me, since if there are any, it's in September, and I will not be here in September, probably.
Or you can just visit a consti when you're back from Sweden.
Yeah, I will.
Maybe not a board member anymore, but
Yeah.
You can get in.
of
Or
course.
like I think they always invite old board members, so I will probably be at one at some point.
Yeah, or just have good contacts. I've heard that works.
Yeah.
I'm not experienced in that, but I've heard that works as well.
Or maybe someone can apply for another board, like in the university council or something.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if they.
Yeah, well, we're going abroad, both of us.
Yeah.
So
But maybe
I have
a
thought
year
about
after
that,
year,
though.
a year after that.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like to do university council, but maybe for the young socialisten.
Yes.
Here we go again. No kidding.
Politics.
Yeah, let's keep that out of this podcast.
No, but it is a very good way of like, well, doing a board for example, Esperience or any other study association is like a good, well, stepping stone is not very respectful, but like stepping stone towards the next thing, if this is something that you like to do,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, Julia, thank you for being here. We hope you inspire people to apply. I think you did. And if you want to apply, you can do so until Sunday, April the 18th. So please send your motivation letter and CV to bestuur@svesperience.nl. And you can find this email address on our website as well.
Yeah, and once again, if you have any questions or feedback for this podcast, you can always reach out to any of us, both on our social medias, but also if you have our number, you can just send us a message. We are on Instagram and Facebook, but I think in the descriptions you can find where. Next Saturday, we'll upload our next episode with a former treasurer. So please tune in for that. I mean, treasurer, obviously, best position. So see you on the next one, and bye.
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 Once again, a huge thanks to Julia Ratering for coming up on our podcast. The Esperience is created and hosted by Stijn and Marijn Meijer. The script is by Marijn Meijer and this podcast is edited by Stijn. The cover art is by Christa van Nol and this podcast is owned by Study Association Esperia. For more information, go to our website stesperia.nl. The Esperience is available on all podcasting platforms as well as YouTube. Thank you so much for listening and please tune in next week for the next episode of The Esperience. See ya!